Joining me now from Washington is Republican strategist and former senior official at the Department for Homeland Security, James Norton. President Obama spitting about this, James Norton, threatening retaliation. What kind of retaliation?
Well, I think that we're in a very gray area when it comes to foreign policy, defense policy, not only for the United States, but also for NATO and our allies at large. We don't yet know what are cyber norms. Cyber norms essentially are what is the correct retribution for an attack. And so in this case, we're talking about the United States election and the potential intrusion and influence into the election. While the president did say there should be some sort of retaliation, I think we don't really know what the cyber norms are. What is the appropriate measured response for the United States and its allies to respond to something like this?
Yeah, former director of the CIA saying that this is the political equivalent of 9/11 and should be dealt with accordingly.
Well, again, I think that certainly the director, is upset in terms of a foreign intrusion and putting information out there that's internal to the United States election and its processes. But I don't know what dealt with accordingly. We don't necessarily know what that means. This isn't an area where, there might be a type attack where you might have some rules of engagement that the military may have had over centuries. The internet and, cyber attacks and information gathering as it's been occurring is a relatively new thing in the last couple of years, and certainly it's been getting a lot of attention in the last few months with our recent election. But, at the same time, in 2008, there was an intrusion by Chinese hackers into both the McCain campaign and Obama campaign. While we didn't see information being dumped online, we did know that there were attacks that have happened. So this isn't necessarily the first time, but this is the first time that a sitting president is commenting that there should be some sort of retribution for this type of attack. And, frankly, at the end of the term for the president, this would be the first time that a president would take such military action this late in the term. George H.W. Bush back in 1991 sent troops into Somalia, as more of a humanitarian effort, and that was with literally just days left in his term. And so what exactly the president means and when a response might occur, I think, is really to be determined, and especially since he said that there was a report that he issued the intelligence community to be released here in the next couple of weeks before his term ends. So I think there's a little bit of wait and see. I think there's a little bit of posturing by the White House. But I think that what exactly the cyber norms are, we really don't know.
And what about the president-elect? He's described the White House as behaving foolishly over this. So what did Donald Trump know, I suppose, is the key question. And how much did this influence the election in terms of him becoming president?
Well, I think that a lot of the information that was on WikiLeaks and that was out there about internal conversations at the DNC really was an insider type conversation about methods and discussions between John Podesta and Hillary Clinton and their staff. And so it was a lot of insider type information. I think that this election, certainly the economy, I think that's why Donald Trump won states like Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Ohio, where Republicans haven't traditionally won in decades, literally. So I think most Americans, while they're not happy with the current cyber attack situation, I don't think they see an issue where this election was necessarily influenced, the voters were influenced by kind of those internal discussions that happened, within the DNC and within the Clinton campaign staff. So I think you do need to distinguish a little bit in terms of, was there an intrusion? Probably yes. Is that an issue for the U.S. and its foreign policy and military activity? Absolutely. But did this necessarily influence the election? I think the answer is probably no.
But is it an issue that the president-elect is someone who, on the campaign trail, called on Russia to do just this?
Yeah, and I think that was a little bit of sarcasm there. I think that it needed to be taken with a little bit of grain of salt in terms of what that campaign event was. I think that there was a little bit of cleanup by the campaign after that press conference, which got quite a little bit of attention. I think that the president-elect has at least 6 more weeks before he takes office. There's been a lot of focus more on picking his staff and cabinet and key positions. So I think once he takes office and whether or not President Obama decides to take some military action between now and then, I think we'll see a different direction from President Trump once he's in office and kind of having a full opportunity to address these issues as president.
Okay, James Norton, thanks very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.